go, go, go. Out for the. I'm walking the bull, go, go, go. Out for the. I'm walking the bull, go, go, go. Out for the.
What's up, everybody? Welcome on in. This is Dad Meets World, a podcast with two dads who catch up on everything going on in Dadland. We talk about the things that maybe we missed or others did as well. And beyond that, we like to escape reality for a bit, so we play a game called Action Daddies. I am your host, Mike. I am joined by my esteemed co-host, the father of two kids, the father of two kidney stones, Mike.
Definitely not two kidney stones, but good chilly evening to you, sir.
Well, that's debatable. You don't know what's on your medical records. Behind the camera, we have the one, the only, Nick the Seagull.
Yep, that is I. And I forgot to charge some things tonight. So we'll see how it goes.
Awesome. That's enough of you. Mike, how you doing? What's going on?
I'm doing good. I got nothing to
Good.
complain about.
Okay. What's going on with the kids?
Not too much. Nora started walking this week. She started working. My daughter started working.
She's a contributor.
She is. The mortgage is getting paid. No, she started walking. She's been walking for a little while, but she started getting busy with it this week and really started walking from place to place. So that's a lot of fun.
Question. Does she walk more than crawl now?
We're getting closer
Getting
to
close.
a 50-50 split.
Nice.
So that's awesome. And for a while, it's been something that she's known how to walk. I think I've told you she'll take her hands off of a piece of furniture, fully standing up and turn around to then sit down so she can crawl out of where she's at. So she's been able to do it. She's just hasn't been interested, I think. But she's going. We're proud of her. And it's the start of a new chapter with her. Grayson's vocabulary is insane. He is 2 years and 4 months now. And he's saying things to me that I'm blown away by. He's asking me full questions and full blown on, Daddy, what are you doing? Daddy, why are you doing that? And
What's the word that he said lately that you're like, you do the damn.
I don't think he comes up with
Chris
them on
Tucker
his own,
reaction.
but when we tell him like, hey, like you have been part of it, when you say, hey, like say calcitosis, and he says something like that, and he says it so clearly, and
Yeah.
dang, dude. But he's telling us like, I want to go to the doctor soon because he enjoys going to the doctor, which is good. He likes to go see the doctor. He likes to go get his checkups. He's seen it on TV. He likes to make sure he's healthy and he's good and he's ready to go. So he's formulating full sentences and saying things, and his vocabulary is getting bigger and bigger, and it's awesome. It's cool to see him grasp things and learn things. And he told Nick that he remembered our friend's dog that he's met once, like 6 months ago or however long ago that was. So, I mean, it's really cool to see. So
That's wild.
doing awesome. Nora has a little separation anxiety on top of, the fun stuff. And Grayson doesn't like to be told no. So there's always a little bit of a push and a shove, but we're having fun. How are you?
Okay.
How's dad life for you?
We are good. We had our 1 year appointment with Harrison. He's in the 99th percentile in height. So, yes. But he's always been in the 99th percentile. Every checkup we've had, he's been there. He went from the 45th percentile in weight to the 65th, 60-something percentile in weight. So
That's
I'm like,
good.
oh, okay, and now we're getting a little bit more beefy.
He's further than you've ever been.
Yeah. So, of course, I would never push anything on him. That's not the kind of father I want to be. But when you're in the 99th percentile in height, Dad does start planning on buying the hoops. Getting the court set up in the loft in the house, you know what I mean? Just a
He
little
could be
place
good
he
at
can
a lot of
ball
things.
out. He has
Volleyball, tennis, baseball, basketball. A lot of length. Just needs coordination.
There's a ton. He can do whatever the heck he wants to do, and if he doesn't want to do sports, that's fine. People need help getting things off of the top shelf in a grocery
If
store.
that boy wants
It's
to
okay.
dance, that boy is going to dance.
That's right. Exactly.
Between you and your wife, he's going to do something special.
So he had his appointment, but they told us, hey, you need to get him off the bottle now. You need to get him away from the binky. And so we were both off during Christmas break, so we had some time. We're like, okay, we can transition him during this time. It's better for us if we lose some sleep. It's not a big deal. He did great the first couple of nights. We really didn't see too much of an issue. But then, of course, we had to go back to work on Monday. Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday nights, literally all 3 nights. It's a battle. It's a battle, and we're just struggling to get him to go to sleep because he doesn't have the bottle, or maybe.
hungry.
But and I should say we haven't taken him off the pacifier yet. He still has that because one thing at a time. We don't want to have both those battles, but otherwise he's awesome. He did the last thing I'll mention about what happened. So he is also kind of walking. He's doing a lot of the holding on to things while he walks, but Leroy, our dog, our chocolate border collie mix dog, he's laying down on the couch, and Harrison likes to try to go say hi to the dog sometimes, and so he's going over there, and he's learned his lessons with Leroy. Like, sometimes he doesn't want to be bothered, so he barks at him, and it's a very loud bark. But either way, he wants to go say hi to him, goes over there, and he hears Leroy start to growl like he's gonna bark. And as soon as he hears the growl, you know that meme of the kid that runs into a room, the baby that runs into a room and then immediately nopes out of it and walks away? That's what it was. It was hilarious. I've never seen him speed walk so fast to get away from that dog. So he's learning.
It's probably a good thing that
Yeah.
he goes the opposite direction of a growling dog. That's good.
It's good. He's finally learned that we can pet the small dog and he doesn't really care, but we're gonna let the big dog be because he needs more time to adjust to him. Anyways,
Sure.
that's all it is. So, Nick, do you have any game you want to play with us? You got anything on the docket?
Yeah, I got something for you. So, just based on even the stories that you guys just shared just now, Mike, obviously you're proud of your children this week because of either their ability to walk or say complicated words. And Mikey, it sounds like you're teaching your child about lessons of moving on from things in life. So obviously later on in life, when your child becomes independent and they move away from your home at 18, they are going to have their own job. Now, here's what I want you to do. In your own head, I want you to think of an occupation the other person's child would have. Mikey, you'll have to tell us if you choose one of Mike's kids.
I will stick to the boys. I don't want to.
Okay,
I don't know Nora's personality enough yet. I know so much more
She's
about
a blank
Grayson.
slate. You can
So-
start with Grayson, but you got to
Yeah.
finish with Nora.
But so you're going to have an idea of a job or profession in your head of what the other person has. It's going to feel like Guess Who. So the one person's going to ask the other person, like, well, does my child do this or that? And you have to just yes or no, pretty much. And then after a couple minutes, we'll just say, go ahead, take a guess at what profession you think your child does. Yeah?
Can I get those instructions one more time? Because there's a good chance I just got distracted by
So think
your beautiful face.
okay, wonderful. I can definitely start over then. So,
No, just give me the quick
about-
instructions. So
think
we're
of
doing.
the game like Guess Who. Right
Yeah.
now, you have to think of an occupation that Mike's child
is
be
going to
doing
do.
in the future.
Got that. Okay.
Okay? And then after that, you are going to ask him questions to figure out what your child is doing.
Okay.
And then at the end, you will guess and say, did I get this right with the questions I asked?
So it's kind of like 21 questions almost. How many questions do we
We're
get to
going to do
ask?
time. How about that?
Do it time.
That way we know how much time we're using.
Well, what if he uses all my time?
No.
That's not fair.
No, it's only going to be one way or the other. So you'll only get 10 minutes and you'll only get 10 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Do we want to do 10 minutes or do we want to do shorter?
I wasn't listening.
You want to do 5 minutes?
Yeah, perfect.
5 minutes. Okay, 5 minutes
Sounds
each.
good to me.
All right.
Okay, so do you have
Awesome.
an idea of an occupation?
I'm thinking about it.
Yeah.
Take a second. I will give you this to help maybe spur some thoughts. Where are they? Are they in the desert? Are they in the ocean? Are they in the city? Are they on an island somewhere?
It doesn't help. The problem is I need somebody to help narrow it down.
Yeah, well, that's too bad. Maybe this will help. How did they get into the industry? Was it a relationship?
Don't give us the opportunity to make a
Was
backstory.
it an
Yeah,
internship?
that's not okay.
That's not a good idea.
Origin stories never
Did
turn out
one
well.
of their parents tell them
They've
to
already
do
been
this?
done.
Or did a friend tell them to do this? So now I want you to ask your own questions. And who would like to start? And then I will give you the go ahead.
Let's go ahead and rock, paper, scissors.
Ooh, I like it.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. or just
Do you know?
rock, paper,
Do you have an
scissors?
idea for jobs?
No, but I guess I'm gonna figure it out last minute.
Well, you can play rock paper scissors
Mm-hmm.
before you say the question. Just play rock paper scissors right now.
Are you ready? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Ready?
Yeah, don't
Sure.
write things down. You're making it too technical. I'm not gonna be as.
Let's go.
All right, rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Yep.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. God.
So Mike gets to choose who gets to go first.
Mike, you got to go first.
I'm gonna ask you the questions.
No, so I'm going to ask you questions about what Grayson is going to be when he grows up.
Okay. All right. I got it.
You got it? You're
Yeah,
good.
I mean it's not. You know what? Not gonna say any words. Go.
Yeah, does he work in a hot
Hey
climate?
Siri, start a timer for 5 minutes.
Does he work in a climate that is hot year round?
5 minutes starting now. When the timer ends, you can say, Siri, stop.
It's important to listen to all our steps. Sorry, what was your question?
Does he work somewhere that's in a hot climate year round?
Possibly.
That's not a yes or no.
That's hot year round.
Yeah. Okay.
See,
I'm
that's the
trying
hard
to-
part. It depends.
Wonderful.
Why don't you? Can you phrase that differently?
No.
Okay.
Does
Different question.
he do something that involves creativity?
No. I sound like a jerk. Oh man, I'm so sorry.
Is he teaching something?
No.
Oh man, how are we ever going to get this?
Have you played 21 Questions before?
Yeah.
Start broad. Just try to figure out how to start broad and work your
Yeah,
way.
we're working on it.
Yeah. Okay. Nick, you can help him out. Like it's our first time doing this. Help him out. If you have a question, ask it.
Do you think we know this place? Have we been to this place?
For his occupation,
Does he work?
Where
Yeah.
does he work? Like
where he
Does
works.
he work somewhere that has customers?
Yeah, there are a ton of customers for this.
Okay, so is he in retail?
No.
Is it in the ocean?
No.
So this is a job on land that
There's a
supports
lot of
people.
customers.
Does he work in a like large building?
No.
He works in a small building.
No.
He works in a normal sized building.
No.
Does he work out of his house?
No.
Does he work out of my basement?
No.
Does he work outside?
Yes.
Is he a landscaper?
No. Are you allowed to just guess like that?
Sure, why not? He's wasting a question.
Okay.
His time.
All right, you got 2 minutes 45 seconds.
It's impossible.
No, it's not.
He works outside with a
works
lot of
outside.
customers,
Yep.
but it's not in retail.
Yep.
And he's not instructing anything.
No.
Is he selling a product?
No.
Is he fixing something?
No.
What? Is he providing a service?
Yes. I was actually I was like, just ask that question.
Is he washing cars?
No.
Is it slippery?
Could be.
Does it involve water as a main ingredient?
No.
What about oil?
Oil is a function of what he needs.
Is he a massage therapist?
Not that kind of oil. Not that kind of oil.
Shit, I thought we had it.
Nope. Why would you get a massage outside?
You're right.
1 minute 45 seconds.
What?
Does he help animals?
No.
With oil?
I was thinking Ace Ventura.
He's providing a service for another company or for a customer? Is he client facing?
No.
Is he drilling for oil?
No.
Does it have to do with oil for cars or gasoline or something that is like creates energy?
Yes. Well, no, it is. No. Like a company that creates energy?
Like, is he mining a resource?
No. He is utilizing a resource, but he's not creating it.
Does he work at a stadium?
No.
No, that's why I said large building.
53 seconds.
And oil is a large part of what he does.
Yeah, if without oil, he wouldn't be able to
Like,
do his assigned
Engine
function.
oil?
Yeah.
Does he?
Is he a
Work-
mechanic?
Yeah, work on cars.
No, he doesn't work on
Does he
cars.
work on something that drives?
Yes.
Does he work on planes?
No.
Does he work on spaceships?
No,
Does
he's
he work
not-
on
he's not a
trash
mechanic.
trucks?
Yes.
Is he a trash truck mechanic? Is he a
No.
garbage man?
Yes. With 17 seconds to go. I
We
can't believe
did
you
it.
got there. I thought you were just so stumped. Oh my gosh.
Wow, that's good because he
Oh.
loves trash. Well, I didn't think it was going to be that like obvious because he loves trash trucks. Thank you.
I was trying to think about something to do with like him being able to enunciate and pronounce things really well. And I was like, no, I know that boy. He just wants to be a garbage man right now.
That's
Yeah,
great,
that's
dude.
ridiculous.
Way to
That was
go.
tough.
That was that was good.
Thank you. Do
was-
you want me to set series timer for that?
I think so. I just need like 5 seconds to finalize my
Okay.
my thought here.
Okay.
Um,
So here's my thing. With while you do your thing, I'll talk to Nick about
good.
this. So if Grayson became a garbage man, do you think it would be like straight out of high school? He's like, this is what I've always wanted, and they have great retirement like plans, and he knows it. Or do you think like he goes on a journey and he's like trying to find some other things, but it's always in the back of his brain that he wants to be a garbage man, and so he goes and he
Everywhere
tries some
he
stuff.
goes, he just keeps picking up the trash that
Yeah.
people leave behind. He's like,
He's-
this is my true.
He goes and
passion."
works in an office, and he's the guy that's always like picking things off the ground, or like at the end of the night, he's like, "People never empty their garbage cans," and he like,
Dude,
goes
I'd be proud of that kid.
I would be really
too.
proud of
That's a
him.
good kid right
Me
there.
too.
Yeah, I could see that being his journey.
All right, Mike. Yeah.
Or he goes
like
to
you
a
got
4-year institution and then discovers like, oh, I could have just gone straight into being a garbage man, not going to a 4-year university. All right, are you ready? Am I okay with going now, or do you want a few more seconds? I can talk more about
I'm
your
good.
son's journey into
No,
being
I'm
a
good.
garbage man. I bet you, though, eventually Grayson would be the owner of his own garbage company.
He would. I'm ready.
Okay. All right. Does
You
he?
set a timer.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes.
5 minutes starting now.
Oh, was that it? There's no other explanation?
You made
because
my
I feel like
Siri-
you would have given. I'm just saying.
You made my Siri go off.
Okay. Does he work inside or outside?
I can't answer that. It's not a yes or no question.
Oh my gosh. Does he work inside a building?
Yes.
Okay. Does he need an athletic ability to do what he's doing?
Honestly, maybe.
Okay. Okay.
It depends on how. It depends on how passionate he would like to be.
Does he work in an office building?
No.
Does he work in a school?
Yes.
See, that's so easy. Is he teaching kids?
Yes.
Okay, I'm assuming we're going to have to get a little bit more specific here. Is he teaching kids how to exercise?
No.
Is he teaching kids how to play musical instruments?
That's not the main part of what he would be teaching. So no.
Is he teaching kids how to have a stage presence?
Yes.
Does my child enjoy singing renditions from Hello Dolly?
But probably.
Is my son the theater teacher?
Of what age?
Oh, of high school?
Nope.
Oh, is my son a middle school? My son is a middle school theater teacher? Yeah. Okay, well, I guess at the very least I said your son was a garbage man, so it's not that much better. Ooh. Clear.
Honestly, I gave you middle school because I thought that was going to be the
Yeah.
hardest to choose. I thought if you got down to it, you'd go to high school or like younger.
I finished with 2 minutes
Yeah,
and 54
it wasn't
seconds.
even close.
You
You,
know what
blew
I
me
wanna-
away.
Well, then what I would say
What's
is
that?
Mike has a second child.
Oh, I do have a second.
Oh,
child.
shoot. I turned off the timer.
Turn off the timer. That's fine. Start
Yeah,
with
but
5
I'm sure
minutes.
he didn't even think about it.
Do you want another 5 minutes for?
Do you want me to? Do you want me? I'll go for round 2. Do you have anything in mind? Or no, sorry.
Oh.
It's
No,
for you.
I would be the one thinking about it.
Yep.
Okay. Yep, I got it. All right, go.
Timer.
Hey Siri, set a timer for 5 minutes.
You made all of my devices do that.
Starting now.
Does my child work inside?
Yes.
Does my child work in an office building?
No.
Does my child work in a school?
No.
Does my child work? Not in an office, not in a school. Does my child work in a retail department store?
No. Why do you keep going back? Why do you
Because it
think
eliminates
I'm
a
just
large swath of things.
No, it kind of a very specific large.
Okay, I don't know how to play this game. Okay. Does my child? Is my child teaching someone something?
No.
Is
Wow. Here we
Nick
go.
little help?
Oh yeah, go for it, Nick. Jump in.
Is this a office building? Did we say that?
No.
Yeah, you already asked that.
So not an office.
Is she doing something athletic?
Yes.
Is she a gymnast?
I'm gonna need you
I
to
was gonna
try
say
that again.
I was gonna say gymnastics teacher, but then I remembered asking.
Yeah,
you.
she doesn't teach you.
Yeah. Inside, is my child playing basketball?
Yes.
Is my child a professional women's basketball player?
Specifically?
Is she in the WNBA?
Yes, she is.
Yeah, buddy. Do I need to name a team? Because I don't know.
position?
No, I was thinking about that.
What position?
Oh yeah, I didn't think about that. All right, let me think.
Dude, she's
Yeah, okay,
really
yeah,
tall. Is she? I mean, she's a forward at least.
Yeah. That's
mean,
what
at
I was
least so
I was-
far,
I was
she's got
literally-
length.
I was literally thinking a power forward.
In her last
Yeah.
checkup, I think she's a little shorter than Harrison. They might be the same height now. She's
Yeah.
over, like she's out of the charts. Like she's off of the charts.
That is fantastic.
She's insanely
I
tall.
would definitely say density wise, she's still a lot lighter than Harrison is.
Yeah,
actually,
that's true.
I can't say that.
No,
I haven't
you're
held her in
right.
a little bit.
No, you're right.
Yeah,
She's
Because-
filled
but
out a little bit though, but Harrison, I think Harrison's a little
so
bit taller.
dense. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but he also is. Yeah, I mean, he's in the 99th percentile. Like it's about as tall as you can get.
I definitely think Mikey won that though. He was a great question asker. But you got the
Thank you.
second one pretty quickly as well too. Just saying.
I ask people a lot of questions all the time.
Yeah, it's hard to.
It's my thing.
I'm just not good at
my-
coming up with questions to try to narrow something down.
That's
You
okay.
know?
It's all right. And honestly, it was a game that was sprung up on us that he absolutely had no idea whatsoever what we were going to talk about. It was never
Totally
planned.
original, too.
Absolutely.
He came up with that idea all on his own. He had no help from any outside sources at all whatsoever. Isn't that
Okay.
impressive?
That's really
He
impressive.
came up with it on the spot too.
Nick, can you on the tally form that we have definitely created, can you put me down for a W? Thank you.
You know what helps us provide those W's?
No, you can't jump into that. I gotta call a commercial break.
Do you know what helps us provide W's to each other?
Is this not a commercial? Because I'll answer.
It is a brief word from our sponsors.
Oh my god. Oh, you did the transition. Hey, boys and girls, you ever find yourself traveling across the interstellar highway that is multi-dimensional realities? My goodness, isn't it difficult how when you go from one dimension to the next dimension, every single time your underwear changes? It's not fair. You wouldn't think that would be something that would happen, but it does. Introducing Permawear, your underwear choice for when you're hopping from a dimension where there's demons galore, or maybe there's nothing but Sims characters everywhere. That way, you're not wearing the whitey tighties and switching to a thong. That tight squeeze won't happen again to you, ladies and gentlemen, because you are wearing interdimensional underwear. What did I say? I don't know. For a limited time, you can get 3 pairs of interdimensional underwear for $15.99. Available now on Amazon or whatever the other version of Amazon in a different dimension would be. If you're hearing this in a different dimension, that underwear is for you. Now available in kids sizes. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on back to Dad Meets World. We just got done playing a fun game, and now we're going to jump into what we may have missed, what maybe you missed out there in the real world. So we each bring some things to the table that we saw, we heard about, we read, whatever it is, and we talk to the other person about it because maybe they missed it. And like I said before, you as an audience member, maybe you missed something. So that's what we're here for. Mike, you want to go first? What's your number one story?
I do want to go first because I have an axe to grind.
With me?
No.
I'm so...
With a man named Michael Teitelbaum.
Oh my God. The
In a
Michael
little
Teitelbaum?
Called Spider-Man, The First Adventure. Okay? I sat down with my child to read a book.
Okay.
And he wanted to read a Spider-Man book because he loves Spider-Man. I have a Spider-Man light in there for him that he has on every night. He asks for a specific color. He loves it. He wakes up smiling at this light, has a Spider-Man doll, just loves Spider-Man. Okay? I've made notes, and I have a book review that I'd love to give you because this was the most insensitive,
What?
offensive Spider-Man
What?
book I have ever read in my life, and I need you to tell me if I am off base.
You're
But
off base.
truly,
It's a kid's
and
book.
in general, I am angry for multiple reasons, and you will see. Okay, so
All right.
we're reading this book. It is an origin story book, and I'm thinking, okay, I know this story. It's happened a million times. I get it. You're looking at the page right now. It looks innocent, right?
I'm
Okay.
looking at the pages, but this is
It was the
an
first
experiment.
sign.
You can see the spider coming down.
It was the first sign that something was wrong.
Oh, okay.
Because they were having a radioactive experiment where the spider gets in the beam.
Yeah, so the spider's obviously just a normal spider crawling into a radioactive experiment, right?
At first, I'm kind of thinking, I've never heard this story before this way.
Oh, okay. I was like,
The spider has never gone into the radioactive beam. It's always been an experimental spider or a radioactive spider that was already there that was in the science lab that bit Peter.
yeah.
So this was a little bit off, but I'm thinking, okay, I can give it a pass. It's the beginning of this book. We're going to move on. Okay.
But are you talking from experience with what we know as Spider-Man, or are you talking with your experience that you know from Marvel Comics?
And this is
because
where
I don't know
feel
if
like I'm talking about canon Spider-Man.
but there's many different
I understand
canon
that.
Spider-Mans. You have
But
different
this
universes of
this
Spider-Man.
is a bridge too
Go
far.
pre-order
This
your
is a bridge
interstellar
too far.
interdimensional underwear.
Okay, so this spider falls. It bites Peter. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, Peter's walking home, and he walks past a pro wrestling circuit. Okay,
Yeah,
let me back
He's
away.
not just walking home. He's doing all the Spider-Man
Yeah, before I was
stuff.
going to say before that he starts
doing
he
all the
realizes that there's
Spider-Man
something
stuff.
different with him, but it's not in the same. It's a little off from the story that we know, and he's
pretty
walking
similar to the
home,
story we know from the Raimi
and he
movies.
walks past a pro wrestling circuit ring, which again is
Happens
similar,
in the Spider-Man,
but it's a
movie.
little
Yeah,
different.
the
He enters a
2001.
wrestling match to compete against all these people to win money.
That's exactly what happens in the movies.
No, that's what I'm saying happens in the movies and in the comics. It doesn't happen exactly. It's a little bit off in this book.
Okay.
So this is where it kind of goes off the rails, okay? So he wins this wrestling match. He takes the opponent up to the mast, and the guy gives up, waves the white flag, says, "It's all over. I give up." So
Says,
he
take
wins.
your money and go.
The producer of the show comes up to him and says, I want to offer you a TV spot. And Peter goes home and creates a uniform for the Amazing Spider-Man show. What universe have you ever heard of this before?
I don't know, and that's what I'm saying. I'm not as familiar with the comics. Is this something that's
No!
happened in one of them before?
No!
Are you sure?
Yeah, this is not right. He doesn't enter a pro wrestling circuit as a TV clown. The producer doesn't say, I'm going to give you a bunch of money. And Peter says, yeah.
Shay here, Sonny. I got a bag
This
full
is
of money.
not-
You want
this is
some of
not
it?
how Spider-Man happens. So
Yeah.
Spider-Man, let's just get this. Let's give a recap. He goes from getting bit by a radioactive spider that fell through a laser beam and onto him, bit him. He tried out some cool moves on the way home. He found a pro wrestling circuit that he joined, took the guy up way high on a pole, made him give up, surrendered, then turned into a TV spot on this production called The Amazing Spider-Man. So then this TV show happens. Okay. Spider-Man comes out of the show and a robber walks by. And the policeman is saying, hey, help, stop. And Spider-Man doesn't. He just hangs back and he says, no, why would I help you? What does it say on that page? Exactly, like what does the cop say? Why didn't you help me stop him?
Why didn't you stop him? Asked the guard. Because I only look out for myself, Spider-Man
What
replied.
world have you ever
Ooh.
heard Spider-Man say, I only look out for myself?
Yeah.
What are we doing?
Like before he becomes Spider-Man, maybe that would be his
No.
personality.
No,
but
no.
after he becomes Spider-Man, that's not who he is.
No,
that's not
not-
Peter
not
Parker.
even.
That's
So-
not my Peter Parker.
This same robber,
tell you that
go ahead
much.
and flip that page, because the same robber then goes to Aunt May's and Uncle Ben's house, and he breaks into their house and kills Uncle Ben.
Dang, dog.
That's not how the story happens in any world that I have ever. Please correct me if I'm wrong, anyone. I've never heard this story been told so poorly before. He doesn't break into Uncle Ben and Aunt May's house and kill Uncle Ben. It's ridiculous.
Why are there pages missing?
There are not pages missing. It is
Wait.
most-
So we go from, I'll show this
Yes.
first and then I'm going to read it. I'll show this first and then I'm going to read it. Okay, so you have Spider-Man catching the thief that the cop needed to capture, right? Is that accurate?
Yes. So
Okay.
the robber goes in, he kills Uncle Ben.
No. I don't know that yet because it goes literally from him. Oh, okay. So the one I already showed, this page here, listeners and watchers, if you're not watching, it's a page where on one, Spider-Man's watching a robber get away while the cop's trying to chase him. Obviously, a police officer that has a white mustache and should be retired. What are we doing? Why are we making this guy run so
don't know.
much? That's
don't know.
my grievance.
So anyways.
Okay, and then the next page, he's back home as Peter Parker talking to the cops about how his Uncle Ben was killed.
Yes.
Wow.
By this. So
Wow.
Spider-Man then puts on his
Boo.
uniform. He chases this man out of the house. He wraps him up. He realizes that this man is the robber that he let go.
Okay,
And in that moment,
that's this page.
he learned that with great power comes great responsibility. And he goes and apologizes to Aunt May.
So because he didn't stop, okay, I see where the grievances are starting to come
all
in.
I want to say is
That's
this
not a
is
good lesson for your
dog
son to
shit.
learn.
This is the worst Spider-Man story
Yeah.
I have ever read I should have read this before I read it to my child.
That's a polite way of putting it.
I put my child in the line of danger because I read him this book.
Mm-hmm.
He now thinks that Spider-Man is a self-centered, pompous son of a bitch who doesn't care about anybody but himself. Marvel, shame on you for producing this. Michael Teitelbaum, shame on you for putting this out there and writing this. And I believe it is the Western Publishing Company Incorporated for letting this garbage
Yeah.
into the minds of babes. That's all I have for that.
Okay, holy moly.
Unbelievable.
I can't believe this exists. This is
Irresponsibility.
really bad.
It needs to be burned.
Yeah.
It is the
So
worst
he's-
Spider-Man
what
story
he
I've
learned-
ever heard.
What he learned was, oh, I made a mistake, and that person, like, there were consequences that I couldn't foresee, and now my uncle's dead. And somehow from that lesson, he determined, oh, with my superpowers, all of a sudden I have this responsibility because if I don't act for the greater good, then my uncle's gonna die. Holy moly, that's terrible.
Is that not the worst piece of garbage you've ever read?
Boo.
What do you got for me?
No, I just real quick. I have to say, we have, we're so because we got
Don't
rid
display that.
Yeah, no, because we got rid of the bottle for Harrison at night. We read him a story before he goes to bed now. And tonight I read a book called My First Golf Lesson.
Nice.
Oh, you know what? You've inspired me. I'm bringing that to the table next time. I am so mad at that. There are some things that I'm like, meh, yeah. So every time I read the story to him, I'm like, all right, so fact check on this. Anyways, we'll get into that later.
Yeah.
All right. So what I'm bringing to the table, not nearly as frustrating as that was. CES happened this week in Vegas. I've attended before. Massive event that goes on in
You've
Las
attended?
Vegas. Yeah. I attended a couple years ago
Didn't know that.
for a work thing.
Good for you.
And it was awesome just because I got to meet a lot of people, learn a lot about what goes down there, the type of companies and all that fun stuff, yada, yada. It's a huge event. Like they have the main area, I can't remember which hotel it is, but they also have a taxi service sponsored by Tesla that uses the underground tunnel in Vegas to go to the other area. It's massive. So CES is the it's the Computer Entertainment Symposium. Nick's trying to word it to be like, no, this is what it is.
Oh man, that's definitely not it either.
What is it?
I don't think it's
Computer-
that. I definitely Googled something that said the customer effort score. I don't think that's
Computer Expo Showcase?
that.
No.
Consumer Electronics
Consumer-
Show.
Oh my gosh, I was wrong on all of them.
You are so wise.
I totally knew exactly what it was. I was putting on a front. So CES happens, all the new technology, things like that. So there's a lot of what it is. Some of the items, a lot of the items are on the market for sale or coming to market soon, and they're supposed to be revolutionary, or they're at least supposed to be a different way of doing a certain something. So, for instance, like I remember when I went, there was you have the robotic vacuum, right? Like the one that follows your kid around and cleans up all their stuff. That's a reference to our first episode listener. So you have we went from a Roomba, and all of a sudden now you have a robot that cleans a pool. So they have,
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is actually really cool, and they have it
think
on
I've seen
display. They have a tank set up where the robot's cleaning a already clean cage, or a clean pool, or what's supposed to be a pool.
Efficient.
Yeah. So there's a lot of those types of companies. There's a lot of,
Gaming.
I would say,
Or is it
maybe,
more
but
like
I don't know.
electronics and-
It's more of the electronic side of things. It's hardware, I would say. I don't think there's as much software, but there could be.
I guess I'm
Anyways.
thinking more like the engine of the game. Like
Yeah.
NVIDIA's there. And
So that's what I was going to get to next. The biggest thing that comes out of that, maybe what you've seen on your social feeds or whatever, NVIDIA announces their new graphics cards for PCs. And so, of course, this year they introduced the 50 series. And the biggest thing about the 50 series is all the AI components that go into it. So there's one thing that has come up where it's a developer tool. So for developers that are making games, they can if they don't have like mocap, or if they just don't have a good way to texture faces, like realistic faces of characters in their games, then they can use this AI tool to kind of butter it up, make it look a little bit better. And so that's one of the things that they introduced. But the other thing that they introduced, which I definitely am the most excited about, is GeForce Now. And GeForce Now is their cloud gaming solution that works with SteamOS, I think. Shoot,
Yeah.
don't quote me on that.
I think you're right.
And
Yeah.
I hate to say it, but I haven't had a lot of time to do the research, so just kind of hang in there with me, or do research if you need to. But GeForce Now is their cloud gaming service that is really, really, really good. And they announced it for the Steam Deck, which is the handheld device from Steam that plays games natively, so you download them on the device, but you have to adjust a lot of the settings to accommodate whatever computer chipset is in the actual device itself. But GeForce Now is the game streaming version. So if you're on the PlayStation, the most similar thing would be like Remote Play, sort of, or Game Pass Ultimate has their xCloud service. So you can play on your phone, but you don't actually download the game. You're just streaming it. It's like Netflix for games. GeForce Now, though, has a lot of the tools and the firepower to deliver the most premium experience. So when you're playing the games, you don't have delay, you don't have fatigue or anything like that. Anyways, so that was one of the major things that was introduced at CES. I think it's really awesome because I'll say lastly, they announced that the Apple Vision Pro is also going to get GeForce Now. And for those that don't know, our producer, Nick the Seagull, give me a cacao. Nick the Seagull has an Apple Vision Pro, so we're hoping that when it comes out, we can do a quick review and give everyone our impressions, let you know how it goes, because that's something I think that could be really exciting. It's one thing to be able to do it in VR, but the Apple Vision Pro is a little different because it's more of a, would you say it's more of like a work utensil? I don't know how to say utensil. Like
Utensil. It's an expensive
utility purpose?
utensil.
Yeah.
Spatial computer.
Spatial computer, AR, VR. So anyways, we're going to check that out. And hopefully we can give you guys that are listening a little bit more of a perspective on it.
Nick,
It'll be cool.
We each
Yeah.
we play on the PlayStation. Can Nick play with us via his Apple headset? Can he play Helldivers with
that's
us?
what we're hoping, is that he can just use this now.
Wow, really?
Yeah, yeah.
Can he play with like a DualSense?
Yes,
Can he,
yeah, so he can
What?
connect a DualSense
So he can
to
sit
it.
there with the Apple Vision Pro on and he
Yes.
can
Isn't that cool? And it's going to run 4K,
natively
60
and-
frames.
or not natively.
Yeah, well, sorry, not natively because it's streaming, but it'll run at 4K 60 frames
Wow.
per second, ray tracing.
That's
like,
really cool.
He's going to have all the bells and whistles. The only thing he might have to deal with is a slight delay in input. So when he presses the X button, it takes a little bit longer than if you're playing natively, but it's not much. And it's gotten way better. Like, you play on the Portal, I play on the Portal.
It has gotten a lot better.
Yeah. We can play games like Cyberpunk on the Portal now. It is.
Have you played it on the Portal?
I have. Yeah.
great.
I did the last chapter or whatever section on the Portal. So awesome. Anyways, so that was the coolest thing out of CES.
fun.
I'm going to play a real quick game with you guys if you'd like.
Yeah.
Because CES has a ton of different crazy, weird products that are always brought to the stage. So we're going to play a little game called Real or Fake. I don't have any cool titles to name this section, but I want you to guess. I'm going to give you 4 products, and I want you to guess which products are real and which products are fake. I'll say that again for the people not sneezing.
So sorry. Which products
gonna-
are real and which products are
which
fake?
products are fake.
get it.
Okay, so we'll dive into it. Nick, you can participate in this as well, so you can collaborate with Mike. I'm going to say all 4 products, and then I want you to tell me what's real and what's fake. I don't want to go one by one, okay? So we have the first product. I'm not going to give you the actual name of it because that may either be a company or something like that. I'm just going to give you a description of the product. So this first one is essentially a pedal camera, okay? Petal. So like
it's flower petal.
yes. So it's an outdoor camera that is charged via solar.
Sorry, we're teaming up against you.
Oh my gosh, come on now, y'all. So we're teaming up via solar power. You got me off guard. So the camera the camera is charged via solar power, and it's a like motion. So when there's wildlife that it captures, it'll capture the wildlife. Okay. So it's a camera powered by solar, and it will take pictures of wildlife in your backyard, on your property, whatever. But it looks like a backyard decoration. Cool.
I feel like this could be real, but that's fake.
So then we have the next product. It's a lava lamp with speakers built in. And then when it's playing music, the light in the lava lamp changes according to the music. So it pulsates based on
that's
whatever you
cool.
have going on. And then we have another one that's a vacuum rake for carpet cleaning. So I don't know if you've ever seen like what looks like a very small rake and you use it like, because if you vacuum your car, if you have animals that shed and you vacuum it, it doesn't do a good job. So they have the products on Amazon that are manual, and they rake up the hair basically, so it pulls a lot more hair out. But all it does is rake it up, and then you still have to pick up the hair. So there's a product that rakes it, and then it has like the extension hose on it that's a vacuum, so it pulls the hair after you rake it. Okay, that's product number 3, and the last product is the Advanced Shoe. So it has adjustable compression. So this is more for like athletes. So it has adjustable compression and also has heating elements in it too. So like if someone has, I'm assuming, a sore ankle or something like that, you can basically accommodate the athlete to relieve some of that pain. Okay. So once again, our 4 products, we have the pedal camera, backyard solar powered camera. We have a lava lamp with speakers. We have a vacuum rake for carpet cleaning, essentially is what I would call it. Not carpet cleaning, but for getting pet hair out of carpets. And then you have the Advanced Shoe with adjustable compression and
I
heating.
am locked in.
Okay. Go.
Real, fake, real.
Were you really going to say that? So you're saying the pedal camera's real, the lava lamp is fake, the vacuum rake is fake, and the Advanced Shoe is real.
Yes.
Okay. The pedal camera is real. The lava lamp with speakers is real.
Dang, we need to upgrade.
Yeah, we do. I saw that and I was like, I need it. I need it so
we'll
badly.
buy that.
I was like, Cassie, I hope you don't mind. I got a new lava lamp in the bedroom. And then the vacuum rake for carpet cleaning
Yeah.
is fake.
Okay.
Good job.
2 out of 3.
And the Advanced Shoe
Fake.
is real.
3 out of 4. Not bad. High five.
So
You stole my work.
the Advanced Shoe, does
Terrible
anybody
high
want to guess which company is making the Advanced Shoe?
New Balance.
Nope.
Because you're giving yourself a New Balance.
Adidas.
What?
Nope, not Adidas. It's a Nike shoe.
I had a
And
feeling.
it was already worn by athletes at the 2024
That's
Paris
cool.
Olympics.
Really cool.
Yeah. Yeah. All right.
Speaking
so that's
of
it.
Olympics, I had some quick little TV shows I wanted to run through with you.
Go for it. Well, yeah, you do
Because-
that and then we'll move on.
We have a couple things we can talk about.
We have
can
some more
go-
things?
Yeah,
Okay.
we're good.
Okay, cool.
So, you haven't finished Squid Game, so I'm not going to ruin that for you.
I've barely
But-
started.
Really? How many episodes?
I am at. No, I haven't. Dude, I haven't even finished the first
wow.
episode.
Okay,
Yeah.
well-
so keep it short. Don't ruin anything.
Let's put a pin in that because
Okay.
I have feelings about this season on a otherwise, like, I think it's a great show. I just think it should have been 2 seasons. This isn't
Okay.
going to ruin it.
So I was about to say the thing I've heard from people at work is it should have been two. Like this is a
We
setup
gotta
for the
stop
next
spreading
season.
things out
Yeah.
so much.
I
Let's
agree.
just
I
condense
agree.
it. Make it 2 seasons and
think-
make them 2 really good seasons. Don't give me
I
a
think-
few really good episodes, some bottle episodes, and
Yep.
then make me wait for the second half of the second season.
I think
that's
you,
all I'm saying.
I think you lose viewers when you do that because you
Yeah.
have too much time between.
You do,
It's okay to take a month off, maybe 2,
but more than
you
that's
can't
too
go
much.
more. Yeah. Okay. So what other
St.
TV
Dennis
things?
Medical,
Oh, buddy,
great, absolutely
High five.
great, man.
Isn't it?
So good.
It's in its first season, so I think it could be better. But once
Yeah.
again, we talked about this before. It's the
Parks and Rec, The Office. The first seasons aren't always the
it's,
best.
Oh yeah. But it's the creator of Superstore.
Superstore, yeah. It's really good. We're really enjoying it. It gives us a
Dude,
good
it's
laugh.
so good. It's so good. A lot of the same actors from Superstore too.
I
For
know
those that like
I've
that
talked
show.
about this to you in the past, but what we do in the shadows
Did
is
you finish it?
so good. No, we still have like 1 or 2 episodes left.
It's a great finish.
It is so good, man.
It is fantastic.
What a
They-
good show. I'm so bummed that it's gone, but I'm so glad that it was such a good, like, I know we have 1 or 2 episodes left, so I can't really judge the ending, but this last season has been so good.
Yeah, I would say my 2 cents on it. It's a return to form for the show that kind of dipped off in the 3rd and 4th,
Laszlo's
5th
dad.
season.
Oh,
Oh, it's
man.
so good.
Oh, my
And then
goodness.
also, I'm happy it's done because I don't believe TV shows should go on for too long, and it was already on its 6th season.
Mm-hmm.
So I am happy we're getting the conclusion that the writers, the creators got to do. It
just one of
wasn't
those-
just
yeah.
sudden.
It's
So-
just one of those shows that hits in a very specific manner that makes you like it makes you happy. It hits on the vampire and all the supernatural and fun stuff. Like, I don't know. It's just
Yeah.
such a good show. And then we finished Secret Level, and
Your thoughts?
what a missed opportunity, man.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
I just wanted something that was a level from a game. You know, give me a secret level from God of War. Give me the missed level from any of those games. There were some good stories throughout, I thought, but you're right. The second half of that season just
Yeah.
tailed off, and it felt like an ad, or it felt like the promo cutscene that you see before you play the actual game, and it was just kind of
There's no
disappointing.
depth. There's
So
no depth.
that left me feeling a little bit hollow
Yeah.
in that aspect. So
Okay. Nice.
not too happy about
Okay.
it. But
Well, why
we'll
don't you do the next one as well? Can you give me a little bit? So
Yeah.
you wanted to give me an update on Dragon Age? Is that right?
We've both been wanting to play Dragon Age, I think.
Yeah. I told you. You gave me the choice. Was it last week we talked about this?
Mm-hmm.
Where you gave me the choice, like, hey, if I'm going to play Rebirth, Final Fantasy Rebirth, or Dragon Age,
Mm-hmm.
what should I play? And I was on the side of I like the combat in Dragon Age, so maybe that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what you decided to play. Nice.
I did. I went with Dragon Age, and it's been a lot of fun. I'm only like 10 hours into this one, maybe a little bit more, but it is I feel like it's a solid 7 out of 10.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
No
Like,
joke.
maybe a 7.5 out of 10. It's a lot of fun, but I feel like it is addicting. I want to play more of it. It does bring me back. I do want to finish the story. I am into my character, but I
But-
feel like the story's not maybe. I don't know. I played Inquisition, and then that was my first introduction into Dragon Age, and this one doesn't have that same gusto. I feel like
I have heard it picks up. So now it's you saying you're 10 hours in. We'll do a check-in when you're 20, 30 hours in, 20 hours in.
yeah, that's fair.
Okay, we'll do a checkup at 20 hours, and if you're still like, nah, then maybe I'll rethink my own desire to play it
I
later
can
on.
see that though, because it is
Yeah.
addicting. Like, I do want to go back and I do want to play it. Like, I want to keep progressing. I want to keep playing the game. I feel like the combat is fun. It's deep enough. There's enough in the combat that makes it a little bit different than, I don't know, games that at least I've played in the past.
Mm-hmm.
The team up abilities, being able to use the abilities of the characters that are on your team that you're bringing on the quest
Mm-hmm.
with you. And when you use their abilities, it's kind of turns it into a time-based or a turn-based game, I guess, a little bit, because you are selecting what they're doing. And then as soon as you let go, it goes back into real time. But
That can be kind of fun.
it is. It's a lot of fun. And there's team up abilities and different characters that you can customize and customize their abilities. So that is fun, and it draws me back. And I do want to keep playing. I do want to see how the story turns out. I don't know. I didn't get that initial jolt like I felt like I got from Inquisition, but it is a really fun game.
Are you going to keep playing though?
100%. I'm going
Okay,
to finish
all
the
right.
game.
All right, because it kind of sounds like you might tail off.
No,
and
I'm
not
going to
go
play that.
back
I'm going to
to
finish
okay,
it.
Cool.
100%. It's a 7.5 out of 10, I would say.
Yeah, that's
and
fair,
that's a
but even
really
then-
good game. Like, that's a good game. I'm going
Let-
to finish that. I mean, it's not like
I'm
I
gonna
just
say
came off
something.
Cyberpunk.
I'm
so
gonna
it's
say
not
something.
That, but
As parents, we don't have a ton of time to dedicate. So a 7.5, even though that's worth most everyone's time, for us, maybe it's not necessarily worth our time. So I'm never going to be offended if you say, yes, this is a 7.5, maybe even an 8, but I'm not going to keep playing. Like, that's okay.
I think it's worth your time.
Pick your time.
I think
Okay,
it's fun
cool.
enough. The combat is good.
Yeah.
It draws you back in. I see the little details. Like, I see the performance maybe lacking on the PS5 that I'm playing on a little bit. The graphics I'm playing on, I was hoping on the PS5 Pro to play it
Yeah.
on fidelity mode and use like the utmost graphic ability and
have
it
the
look the
frame
best
rate.
and have the frame rate, but it definitely runs better on performance mode. So playing in that mode, but it does run really smooth in that mode. I still see a little bit of the yips, I guess, that you wouldn't probably see on a PC, but I don't know. I think it's worth your time. The graphics, the background, the scene, it's beautiful. It is a really fun game.
Okay.
Playing in that scene and in that, I guess, environment is a lot of fun. The combat's good. I would play it if I'm a dad and I'm sitting down at the end of the night.
Yeah.
And I want to play a game that takes me away. I'm going to play that one. So
Okay.
I think it's worth your time.
Can I ask you real quick?
Yeah.
You're the one that plays Assassin's Creed out of us. Today they announced it got delayed a month.
March 20th. Yeah.
So this is Assassin's Creed Shadows. It's the one that takes place in feudal. Oh, did I say that wrong? It's in Japan. I don't know if it's feudal. I don't know. But it's in Japan. It's 2 characters. Are you... But you're the one that has played every single Assassin's Creed game except...
I didn't play Valhalla, and was it? Is it Unity?
Unity. Yep,
Unity.
that's the one. Yeah.
I didn't finish them all. I definitely didn't finish
Okay.
like Black Flag. I didn't enjoy that as much as I think the community at large enjoyed
Yeah.
that, maybe.
But
and
are
some of the
you-
other ones, but
From what you've seen of this new game, are you excited? And this is now the second delay? Does this worry you? Does it make you not want to play it?
I don't think it worries me at all
Okay.
because I think they're coming. February is going to be a really stacked month with video games.
Oh, do you think that's why they moved
I
it?
think that if they're potentially selling the company, there's maybe something to do with that. And then I think if there are any bugs, they want to release it in the absolute best form that they can because it is important for Ubisoft to release a game that is a success.
So 1 out of 10, what's your hype level for this one?
I want to say like a 10 because I think if it's in
10
Japan,
out of 10?
if it's in Japan and it's an Assassin's Creed game and it's
Okay.
everything that we could ever wish for,
Cool.
Like I'm hyped for that and I'm really excited to play that. But my realistic hype level, I'm probably at like a 7 because they haven't had a hit in a long time. They really messed. Star Wars didn't perform probably the way they wanted it to. I, as a Star Wars fan, you as a Star Wars fan, didn't really have interest in that
No.
game or want to play it.
Nope.
So I don't know. I just feel like, and they've had many failures in the past leading up to this. So I just feel
Okay.
like it's very important for them to nail this game. And just based on their track record, my realistic, like, I don't know.
Expectations, yeah.
It's 7 out of 10.
Okay. Well, hey, listeners, look forward to it. I'm sure Mike's going to play it and give us his thoughts. So we'll let you know. It may not be right when the game comes out. Probably won't be when the game comes out, but you can look forward to that sometime after. I'm going to jump into one last thing before we move on. So this last week we had the Golden Globes before California went ablaze in the Palisades. It's the Palisade fires. So anyways, Nikki Glaser hosted the Golden Globes. It's her first year, and it sounds like it went really well. I think she's coming back next year. But with any sort of speech or monologue that they do, there's material that's cut from it, whether it be she and her team or the network, doesn't really matter. There were cut jokes. I have kind of cut some of the more inappropriate ones out that we're not going to talk about, but I do actually want to talk about some of the ones that I thought were really funny and are going to make you maybe go, ooh. So first and foremost, have either of you seen any of the jokes? All right, so she went on to Howard Stern's show and she talked about these jokes. That's why it's public information. So if you are interested, go listen to that episode of the Howard Stern show. All right, let's go through some of the jokes. She said, I saw a Joker too, and it reminded me of when the first Joker came out and I was in the theaters and I was afraid someone was going to shoot it up. And then during Joker 2, I was really hoping they would. Silence. Yeah, I like that. Next joke. Glenn Powell is nominated tonight for Hitman. Glenn Powell, for those that don't know, he's in the movie Twisters and a bunch of other movies. Glenn Powell is nominated tonight for...
Glenn Powell, It's Always Sunny?
No, Glenn Howerton.
Thank you.
Oh, my word.
I was thinking of somebody completely different.
Equally handsome of men.
Thank you for helping clean that up.
Glenn Powell is nominated tonight for Hitman. Who would have thought that by the end of the year, you'd only be the second hottest Hitman in America? Ooh. Of course, that's a reference to one certain Luigi that we won't talk about. But anyways, so I thought that was one that I was like, yeah, the network probably cut that joke. Next one, The Wild Robot is nominated tonight. And by that, I mean Nicole Kidman after 2 white wines. I don't know. I think that may have been, if I'm guessing, I think maybe that was one that her team took out because they're like, yeah, we don't have enough room for this. Or something else. I don't know. I love that one. Nicolas Cage is here tonight looking well rested after a night of sleeping in Elvis's coffin. And a couple more. Michael Keaton was so great in Beetlejuice, and Alec Baldwin sadly did not come back to play a ghost because he was too busy making them.
That's horrible.
It is really bad. That's one that I definitely think probably the network and her team were like, yeah, we can't say that. For those that don't know, it's just a weird situation where on the set of Alec Baldwin's movie, I apologize.
Maybe don't need to explain.
Yeah,
this.
but someone was
We
shot.
might need to cut that.
Yeah, no, it's fine. It's fine. Someone was shot and killed with a prop gun, and I think it was the armorer's fault, but there's a lot to the story. If you actually want to know more, you can look into it. But that's a little darker, so I can see why it was cut. Lastly, Squid Games is a show where people starve themselves while ruthlessly competing for the ultimate prize. Oh, wait, no, sorry. That's this show, the Golden Globes. But
Hilarious.
and that has been your dad cap for the night. Let's go ahead and cut to a commercial break real quick. When we come back, we'll play some Action Daddies.
Is the sound you hear on a cool summer's night in the backyard with friends. But you have square cubes, and your friends aren't squares. No, they're unique, and everyone is unique. Here at Ice Chip Box, where every month you get a designated custom-made box of ice chips in your own shapes or sizes. Whether you want superheroes, whether you want shapes like triangles, diamonds, squares, circles, no seams in your circles. Maybe here you'll get one. Probably not. Choose anywhere from our superhero line, including Superman, Homer Simpson, Batman, the Green Lantern, Aquaman, Wonder Woman, and many more, including Spider-Man. We also have a selection of game controllers, headphones, really anything you can think of. It's Ice Chip Box. We have to come up with something new every single month. Any idea, literally, that an employee will come up with, we have to produce. We have to do this in perpetuity for the rest of our lives. So you eventually will get the flavor that you want or shape that you want here at Ice Chip Box. $29.99 a month. Could you do this on your own? Probably. But we're running a business. Join the family.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're back. We just got done with our dad cap, and of course, we're going to go ahead and jump into what might end up being our favorite segment of this whole thing. It's a little game we like to call Action Daddies, which, I don't know, do we want to do the drop? You want to try? We could do the drop? This is part of the podcast. Action Daddies. All right, so I think, as I said last week, I kind of set up the whole premise of what we're doing. It is, so once again, to everyone that has not listened to the first episode, we're doing Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not in the high fantasy realm. We're actually going to do a variation or our take on Dungeons and Dragons in the action movie world. So we have set up a scenario. It's a buddy cop style movie or scene, or I don't know what to call it, because adventure. Thank you, because I don't play Dungeons and Dragons. We play Baldur's Gate 3. We know some of the rules that apply to that world.
I was going to say close enough.
Close enough. Yeah,
It's called campaign.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thanks, Nick.
Yes, it is. Wow, that was a obvious answer.
Oops.
Okay. So anyways, we're going to go ahead and run through, or sorry, like I said, it's a buddy cop scenario, and I told you guys that you're walking into a casino and you don't know each other yet, but soon, of course, you will know one another. Before we get into the scene, we need to deck our characters out. To recap, each character, Nick, the Seagull. There it is. Thank you. Nick, the Seagull, is Hugh Cochran. He is in the class that would be identified as James Bond.
Can you at least say it like James Bond, please? Like,
Hugh Cochran.
no, what the hell? But
Hugh-
the name's Hugh. Hugh Cochran.
But no, a British person wouldn't say it like that. Hugh Cochran.
That was a terrible
Hugh
accent.
Hugh
You're not
Cochran.
good.
Hugh Cochran. So anyways, Nick is James Bond type. His name is Hugh Cochran. And we have Mike. His name is Betty White. I don't know how you picked that name. It's a random name that's not popular at all, but well, okay. So he named his character Betty White, and he is the class that we have defined as the bride from Kill Bill. What's her name again? I think, did you say her name the other night?
I just
And I was
remember
like,
it
what do
being
you?
the bride.
Oh, it's Beatrix. Beatrix.
Yeah, you're right.
Something. I can't remember. And I love those movies. But anyways, so he is the bride from Kill Bill. Essentially what we're looking at then. Nick is someone that uses stealth, charm, and weapons would be, we're going to get into that, but
Wit?
weapons would be like a gun with a silencer or what, it doesn't matter. We're going to talk about the weapons that the James Bond type of character would have had. You are more hand-to-hand combat. You're much more trained in the ways of the sword, but you, of course, do have your ways about you as well to get through a situation. So we're going to go, I think tonight, we're going to keep it very simple. We don't have too much time, but we definitely want to get some of this stuff sorted out so we can jump into our adventure. So let's go ahead and start with Mike. We're going to do weapons tonight. So what I want you guys to be able to do is I've sent links to either guns or melee weapons. What those include swords and all that fun stuff. James Bond, here's the thing, Nick. I didn't really find much for melee weapons for James Bond. Like, I don't think he's ever been about that. So really, your melee weapon is going to be your hands. I hate to say it. That's fine. Yeah. So you'll be very well versed in hand-to-hand combat. Mike, you, of course, are the opposite side of that, and you use mainly a sword. But Beatrix does also have a gun that she uses. So you have a link on there that'll take you to, I think, either images or information about the gun that she got in the movies. And I wish I could be a little bit more specific about how things are used in the movies, but I'm not. So that's really all we're going to go off of.
Sure.
Okay. So, Mike, I want to start with you. We're going to pick your weapons. We're going to pick your melee weapon, and we're going to pick your ranged weapon. Okay? And of course, if you try to pick something that's two-handed or something like that, I'll let you know no matter what. Like a samurai sword is
And I can only choose from the
from
list that you sent?
the list that I sent. So listeners
Got it.
and
Locked in.
viewers, I sent them lists of the items that it's like a wiki page or it's a fandom page or something where they can see the weapons and the items that these characters have used. So I'm going to let them figure that out. And
Got it.
once we have picked out what they're using, of course, depending on what they want to use, it'll either help them or hurt them in certain categories, just based off of that how that character would be able to use that item, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like it's like real life. Like if your character, how would you define Beatrix or Betty White? Sorry, how would you define Betty White?
She's a samurai. of
Samurai,
sorts.
right? So
Yeah.
she's good with light weapons, but if you gave that woman an axe,
Yeah,
you sure
she'll be fine.
it does damage, but it's not going to do critical damage.
Exactly.
So, all right, what do you think? Tell me what
So
you think.
for melee, I think I'm going to go with the katana.
Oh, yes. Which one?
The the one that the bride uses.
Hattori Hanzo. Is that what it's called?
I believe you are. I think you are correct.
Oh, it's so good. I love that scene. I love that scene of the movie.
I think you're right. It
Yeah.
is the one. I think it's.
Is it a Hattori Hanzo? Or am I saying it wrong?
I feel like I need to look this up because I don't want to get desecrated.
I mean, I could have the same pages
You're
open
right.
as well.
It is the. You are correct.
Oh man, that whole scene is so good. And the dude draws the thing in the window.
Sorry, I'm making sure I'm.
No, you're good.
Triple checking.
So-
You are correct. It is the Hattori Hanzo.
Hattori Hanzo?
Hanzo. It is his sword.
Yeah.
He's the finest swordsmith in the world, but it
Yes.
is the sword that he uses and that he like specially created, I believe. So
Yes.
I agree. We're on
Because
the same page. That is the one that I'm.
If I'm not mistaken, that character specifically only makes swords for individuals.
Yeah.
It's not like you
and
can
he made
just
one
come
for
pick 'em
the
up.
bride.
Yeah.
That's the one I want.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So we have that for you. That's what I would have
So I
expected.
take that back. Not his sword, the one that
Okay.
he made for the bride.
All right. And your ranged weapon. What would you like to do for the
I'm going to use
ranged weapon?
that rifle that you sent, the M4A1.
Whoa, hold on. Sorry, I'm gonna open this link real quick here. Which one?
The only one on there.
No, there's
The only
for the
rifle.
rifle. Okay. Okay. So you're gonna go rifle. Okay. I'm gonna have to do, I'm not gonna stat anything out, but I want to make sure. So here's the thing. If you go that route and it turns out when I watch the movies that it's something that she uses because it's the only thing available versus being well skilled with it,
get it.
that's going to make a difference.
But you have to judge it off how well she uses it, you know?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yes, absolutely. And of course, if you watch it as well and you're like, I come back to you and I'm like, hey, you know, like you're going to get a minus this and that on these stats. And you're like, actually, I don't think so.
Do we get one re-roll?
Nick, don't take offense to it. I wear glasses every now and then too. So yeah, reroll or whatever it is. But we'll have a discussion about it.
Cool.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome.
Nick.
Nick, you are up. So like I said before, your melee, I don't know. Should we give him some brass knuckles or
No,
something?
just the hands.
Just the hands? Okay. I don't know how I feel about that. We might be able to figure something out later.
Yeah, start with his
Yeah.
long range.
So
Or
what I would
non-melee.
like to do with Nick instead is let's have you pick a gun out and then you can pick a gadget.
Is
to
cyanide a
start.
gadget?
Well, I mean, a cyanide dispenser is.
Yeah, give me 1 second.
Okay. So here's the thing with James Bond. I would also say maybe, Mike, let's talk through this real quick. I think maybe he's a bit of a... No, he's not a tinkerer, but he's a problem
user
solver.
of yeah, there you go.
Okay.
He is a user of a tinkerer.
Yeah, like he knows how to use the items in front of him in the best case scenario, or
That he's given.
Yes, yeah, he's in a certain situation and he's able to use those items to whatever maximum need that
The
he
list
does.
that you gave Nick is insanely
I know, but there's
long, dude.
but that's the thing.
like
dude,
just looking at these gadgets, can he use Oddjob's hat?
yeah, he could,
Dude.
Absolutely.
Why do I?
That's a great. It's another ranged weapon. But it's an item, and that's the thing because it doesn't come back to him.
homing
So he'd be able to use it, but then when he's
A
done with it,
jetpack?
he can't pick it up until after the fight. Jetpack, same thing. I'd say you'd be able to use the jetpack, but it would run out of fuel
Nick,
very quickly.
You could get
so you'd
a
only be able to
mini
use it
rocket
once.
cigarette.
Yeah, that one's cool.
I know.
And then afterwards, you'd be able to say, "Smoke 'em if you got 'em."
Yeah, there's a lot on here. This is a long
Yeah.
list.
So do you just want to
Fake
pick your gun?
fingerprints.
That's okay. It's okay if you don't. But okay, here's the thing: you have 5 items to pick from, and I will say, out of the 5 items, like you could honestly, you want to pick 5 gadgets, go for it. But remember, you're probably gonna need to help heal your partner. Maybe you're gonna need some items.
So we're
to help-
picking 2 main weapons
I think
Yes.
or 2 main
a ranged
items,
a ranged weapon,
and then
a gun.
offline we'll pick the armor and like the smaller gadgets and items that we can use. So he needs to pick 2 mains. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, and we haven't we've discussed it, but we haven't determined quite yet if we're gonna do that off camera.
That's fine.
For the items, because it might be fun. Like, there's a lot of really cool
There
James
is.
Bond stuff.
So
Hugh Cochran.
I do think the gun that he has to have is a Walther PPK.
Okay,
I think
gotcha.
I think he has to. It's almost in like every single
Yeah.
movie. It's
The classic.
it kind
Yeah,
of makes sense.
with silencer, without. What does it have normally? Because sometimes I think about James Bond and I think of him with the silencer. That's the version of James Bond I remember. Like Pierce Brosnan's James Bond. I think he has
all it
more
says
of
is
that.
main gun normally. Just says main gun.
But there's no silencer on it.
No.
So maybe an item, you could add an item that's
That
the
is,
silencer.
maybe like the accessory or
right.
whatever.
Yeah. Yep. Okay.
Sure.
So Walter PPK. Do you want to do a gadget tonight?
Look, I'm just telling you that you could choose the flute communicator.
What's
you
the
could-
flute? What's the flute communicator?
It is a device that is a regular flute. It was used as a regular flute.
Okay.
And it directs a radio transmission communication to Dr. Kanaga? Dr. Kanaga?
Sure.
From what movie is that from? Live and Let Die? So there's some really cool things in here, man. Jaws teeth. Do you remember those?
Yes.
Stainless steel teeth.
Yeah.
That would
Even,
be
like,
pretty sick.
The
That would be
James
cool.
Bond briefcase, like one of the very first things on the list. Like,
Yeah.
What's in
There's a
the
lot in this.
What's in the James Bond briefcase?
so it has AR-7, like a 25 caliber rifle, or like one shot deal. Sorry.
Oh, okay. So that's a
one-shot deal.
perfect item. Same thing.
There's
you can
also
only
a
use it once.
survival rifle with an
Okay.
infrared telescope and detachable suppressor.
Okay, so that would be your second weapon then.
Oh, never mind. Another error is that James Bond tells Kareem that he only has one shot, but the AR-7 was actually semi-automatic, and it had 2 magazines.
Oh,
Plenty
good
of
old
bullets.
James Bond.
He also had 20 rounds of ammunition concealed in the case, 50 gold sovereigns concealed in the case. Sovereigns? I don't know what that is.
Is that money? No.
I don't know.
Sovereigns.
Yes, British gold coin with
Yep.
a nominal value of £1.
There's a wristband grappling hook. There's a dragon
There's
flamethrower.
There's also tear gas cartridge disguised as talcum powder.
Dang.
Sent to discharge. when
There's
the
a
briefcase is
lot to
opened
choose from
incorrectly.
in here.
So let's
Spring
do
load
it this
for
way.
the night.
I don't-
Hey,
I don't
okay,
want-
time out. I have the answer.
Well, hold on. Okay, yes, go for it.
Dagger shoe.
Can we can use a virtual reality headset? Because if we can put it on our enemies, if we can sneak it onto them, well, we're going to be outnumbered. We can't do that.
Plus, we can't tell.
Yeah, you'd have to have an isolated foe. Yeah.
A mic. All right, Nick. Good luck.
Dude, what do we want in a casino?
That's the thing is I
Yeah.
don't think we're in there for casino purposes. You know.
No, but at the same time,
lipstick
a
gas.
casino is a public place. There's a lot of people.
Electrocution.
There's a lot
staff
of
chair.
security.
Electrocution.
You know,
staff
Nick,
chair.
Okay, but you're not getting a chair into a casino.
All I'm saying is,
Watch me, dude.
when in doubt, go with something that you know. Right?
I
Go
just
with
seduce them, and then that's it.
you go with something that you know that we know we're going to get points on the board for. Right? Let's just go with a jetpack.
In a casino, you're indoors in a casino.
Okay, let's not.
I
go
mean,
with the
technically,
jetpack.
you never know.
How about an industrial
I could
laser
maybe
inside?
end things on the rooftop or something, but you're inside to start. So
Okay, then you got to go with Oddjob's hat.
Oddjob's hat is so dope. I don't know when or what you would use it for.
Biometric fingerprint scanner. What if we need to get into places, Mike?
That's a good point.
X-ray desk.
Ooh, or I have a fake fingerprint. I
Wow.
can have anyone's fake
Yeah.
fingerprint.
I don't think that's going to help us.
I mean, you do have a samurai. She could chop someone's finger off and just use that.
Yeah, if I have a samurai and a rifle and you have a handgun,
A
We
samurai
have
I
our-
could
sword.
have a water.
we have
barrel.
our weapons handled. Do we have anything that can help us heal on this list?
cigarette gun.
That only helps us heal
Holy
mentally.
moly, I'm missing half an arm. I could use a cigarette.
buddy.
Oh, that healed me
Pipe
right up.
Machine gun. a bagpipe machine gun.
Oh my gosh.
Hey, I'm just reading what I'm saying.
Yeah, and it's okay. If you just remember with the items too for healing,
Dude.
they may not be from the movies. I may just be like, hey, here's some items that you use for healing. Like, here's a first aid kit. Yes, if you want an item to be a first aid kit, you can. It's not, and that's
Radioactive lint.
Dude, you gotta go with his briefcase.
I think I might go with the briefcase because it just kind of
Okay.
has like everything in there.
all right. How about I'll put it in Are you writing it, or you want me to write it?
Go for it.
Okay. So how about I'll put it down temporarily. If you change your mind, we'll announce it on the next podcast.
Sure.
Okay, cool. All right. Well, guys, so just to summarize, once again, Betty White, we have both the gun.
She is armed with a
And-
katana
Yes.
and a rifle.
Yes. The M4...
4A1?
What? Yeah, nice. That's it. And then we have the Hattori Hanzo sword that Mike is equipped for his melee weapon since he is a skilled swordsman. Or Betty White is.
Swordswoman.
Swordswoman. How dare I? And then Nick is the Hughest of Hughest Cochrans, and he has both the the briefcase as his item, and of course the Walter PPK gun.
The water gun. The water PP gun.
So that's it for now. Next week, we're either going to jump into what we have to assign for armor, or we'll do it off camera. We'll get the items equipped. We'll tell you guys what we have for them. I think that's what we should do. Yeah. Well, all right. So we're going to equip these guys, and then we're going to jump in. We're going to do our first scene. We'll play for 15 minutes. We'll see how far you guys get. And we'll just do it in segments, and it'll either be a Hugh success, or it'll be terrible, and we won't keep up with it.
Or
All
it
right.
could have been better.
I don't really have it. Do you have any shout outs for parents this week, or dads or moms of note? I don't really either.
If I'm really thinking about it, I could tell you that I just continually feel like Hank Hill every week because I'm just telling my child, boy, get off of that bed. If you keep diving off that bed and hit your head on the ground, you're going to be paralyzed. You're not going to be able to walk. So I just feel like Hank Hill always telling him to not hurt or kill himself because he's constantly trying to hurt himself. And I have no idea how to finally break through to him to get him to stop. So.
Nice. Okay, well, shout out to the level-headed Hank Hill, best propane salesman in Texas. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been another edition of Dad Meets World. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you. Have a good night.